Hello everybody, I am the Black Sigma, or you could just call me Eric. Welcome back, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All. It's a really bad idea to keep doing this with a sore throat. Like I mentioned in the last episode, I started losing my voice, but we're carrying on, because I want to finish this game today, for some reason. The bear's an elaborate puzzle. That's right. Looks like an ordinary figurine. True enough. What kind of puzzle? Know the correct order, it can be taken apart. How would you go about doing that? First, turn its tail to the right, then push it in. Oh yes, I see. After that, the arms and legs are free to move and can be removed. Oh, this is most interesting. A boy and his new toy. It's like he's 5 all over again. Oh, don't mind me. Go ahead and carry on. Think he's lost it. So what do you find after you take it apart? Small cavity. How do you know about this? Because I was the one who bought it. Huh? It was a souvenir from when a friend and I went to Switzerland. Then, this was a present from you? That's right. It was a puzzle in the shape of a bear, so I thought it would be perfect for Han. It was a present from Ms. Andrews. Witness, let's continue the testimony. If you don't know the order, you can't open it. Who exactly knew how to solve it? Only the two of us, Juan and myself. It was a souvenir from Switzerland. Doubt there are that many people with the same bear in this country. But this looks like it can be easily broken, especially if someone wanted to get at what's inside. Well, it's a toy. But it can never be the same again once it's broken. Really can't tell it's a small jewelry box. Who else knows? Never told anyone. As long as Juan never told anyone either, then only the two of us knew. The two of you, huh? Then of course that means Mr. Engarde didn't know, right? Well, Mr. Wright, I think even you have come to realize, that there is one very important fact we have uncovered, and that is this. This bear is actually a jewelry box of sorts. Now that we have agreed to this point, there is only one logical question that can come next, and that is this. What's inside the box? What's inside? That's right. That's what we are going to find out next. Witness, yes? You are the only one who can open this. Please. Tail goes in, turn to the right, take arms and legs off. Presumably that then frees some kind of head movement, but maybe it's like an ear first. I've opened it. Is this what you wanted? What is that? It looks like a note. I don't think we need to guess at what that is. Do we, Mr. Wright? A note hidden in a place that only Juan knew how to open? Uh-oh. You're absolutely right, Edgeworth. I know exactly what you're getting at. It's the suicide note. The suicide note? The suicide note left by Juan Corrida's former manager Celestin Parks. Until now, no one knew of its whereabouts. But just as we suspected, it was hidden. Hidden by the victim, Juan Corrida himself. Pardon me. I haven't even had that much to drink today. I don't know why I had to belch like that. It seems Celestin Parks had very beautiful handwriting. I don't know where the word came into that sentence. Is it because you came looking at Phoenix? I detest that joke. Because it's true. Shut up. And she just as beautifully signed her own name on this document. This is most definitely the note that she left right before she committed suicide. Order! Witness, do you know about this? Yes, I did. I heard all about it from Juan. When I discovered his body, I looked for the bear. I wanted to destroy the note before it became public. But I couldn't find it anywhere, because it had already been taken by the killer. Everything is going at Mr. Edgeworth's pace. So now that the suicide note has been found, what's the next logical question? What is written on the note? That's right. At least that's what I would think. Now then, I believe it is only appropriate the contents of the note be made known. I can't stop you, can I? I went through so much just to get my hands on it. And I was going to burn it for her sake. I'm deeply sorry, but I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. Your Honor, if you could please read the contents of the note aloud. Very well. The judge's voice rang loud and clear through the deathly silent courtroom. In her note, Celestin Parks left to us a record of all that had happened to her, about being used and then thrown away by Engarde, about being engaged to Corrida, and Corrida's, or Engarde's, role in destroying that, about how she decided, in her despair, to end it all. And that's all Ms. Impax had to say. There is one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. Engarde. Then what? Our intention, Your Honor, is to establish a motive for murder. Isn't that correct, witness? Yes. On the night of the murder, Juan was going to make the contents of the note public. After the post-ceremony show, he was going to hold a press conference. My word. Matt Engarde values above all else his refreshing like a spring breeze image. Which is why he had to stop this note from being made public. At any cost. It's Engarde's fault that woman killed herself. This time, how terrible, what a selfish person. Guess there are still slimeball lawyers out there who will defend these creeps too. There is no room for doubt here. Mr. the Killer's goal, the client's goal, was to obtain this suicide note. And the only person who needed this note that badly is the defendant. Let's not forget that the bear with the note inside was found at the defendant's house. It seems that we've come to the truth at last. The defendant's motives were entirely selfish. He deserves no sympathy from anyone. How am I supposed to escape this one? Why the hesitation, Phoenix? Gumshoe hasn't called yet, so you know what you must do. I know. I have to carry on and buy him some more time. Okay, there are two deadly pieces of evidence. The figurine and the suicide note. Maybe somehow I can find a way out of this situation through one of those. The gavel is already in the judge's hand. Phoenix, hurry. The suicide note or the figurine? Which one should I pursue? The figurine. How did Engarde know that's where the note was hidden? Please wait, Your Honor. Oh man, look at that lawyer. He's still going at it. It's like he doesn't even care. Or something. The assassin took this with him from the crime scene after murdering Mr. Corrida. At the request of his client, of course. So, what's your point, Mr. Wright? I don't think it's possible that Mr. DeKiller's client was Matt Engarde. In fact, I think there's a contradiction here. You can't tell by just looking at this bear that it really is a jewelry box. And the chances that Matt Engarde thought the note was inside the bear are 0 to none. Oh, I didn't think of it that way. Yeah, exactly, but I did think of it that way. And I thought it was rather strange. After all, there is no reason why Mr. Engarde would ever want a jewelry box like this. Order, order, order. You make a valid point, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion? It's just a flash, but I think I did rather well on this one. Unfortunately, I think he believes differently. I believe a show of appreciation is in order. Huh? The defense seems to be in love with wishing more despair upon itself. Huh? I would like to direct the court's attention to this. What is that? It's a very small video camera, Your Honor. The type of camera is commonly used as a means of spying. Spying? What the... I thought that spy camera was in my possession. What? Matt Engarde and the victim both thought of the other as their biggest rival. They even went so far as to use this type of item to find each other's weaknesses. And the victim, Juan Corrida, was being spied on. His personal life was being watched by none other than Matt Engarde. Order! Order! Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? You... Don't tell me you knew about your client's spying activities. Well... Sort of. Sort of is not an acceptable answer, Mr. Wright. I see you are confused, Mr. Wright. You're probably thinking, but I have the camera that was stuffed in the bear's eye. Huh? But this camera that I have is not the same one. Last night I searched the victim's house on a hunch, using this. Gumshoe's bug sweeper. By the way, Mr. Wright, the defendant's fingerprints were found on this camera, Matt Engarde's fingerprints were on there. Well, Phoenix, it looks like those cameras were hidden all over the place, huh? What am I supposed to say to that evidence? I think this is the end. It's fairly obvious that Mr. Engarde learned of the suicide note through this. He was watching the victim all along. He got me good this time. I don't have anything to counter that. Hey, now what's that lawyer thinking? Mommy, is that man the killer guy? Shush, stop, don't look at him. The way he's sweating is just so ill, nasty. Phoenix? Yes, Chief? Have you figured out what you're going to do next yet? What I'm going to do next? Does running away like a frightened child work? I know it seems like Edgeworth is very close to putting the lid on this case, but in his eagerness to prove his point, he forgot one very important thing. Well, what is it, Mia? There is a piece of evidence that he really should investigate. Something he should investigate? I would really hate to see the good prosecutor get scolded for not remembering to look into the item when he had the chance. Why are you speaking in riddles all of a sudden? Alright, I think it's time we finally this time we finally understand everything. Well, Mr. Wright, you don't have any further objections, do you? What still needs to be looked at? I have an objection, Your Honor. That was about the weakest objection I've ever heard, Mr. Wright. Your Honor, the defense has no intention of letting things go so easily. You're beginning to sound desperate. That's, me? Desperate? No, I'm Phoenix Wright. I always have everything completely under control. It's just your imagination, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, this is not like you at all. In your eagerness to prove your point, you've forgotten one very important thing. Hey, isn't that what I just said? So you're telling me that I forgot something? You're so close, Mr. Edgeworth. You even sounded a bit more like the judge than yourself for a second. But you really should examine about this piece of evidence. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, I do believe some special examination is needed. But I think that the item that should be examined is the defense's grey matter. Whoops. Mr. Wright, after this trial is over, I would like to see you in my chambers. I think there are a few things we need to discuss. Yes, Your Honor. If you're going to speak, at least use your brain to make up something intelligible. I forgot something. Well, apparently the transmitter is, not something that needs to be investigated. This camera was set up to record from 8 PM to 9 PM and no other time. Oh yeah, this camera would have recorded the murder, but it was being videotaped and the tape was missing. I'm an idiot. Okay. If the fact he needed to investigate just where the transmitter was sending the footage isn't the case. He didn't investigate. He didn't need to investigate the bear or the fact Engarde bought it. He did that. He didn't investigate this photo, but he didn't know about the photo. Okay. Suicide note. It's inside the figurine. Tells about things that Engarde has done wrong. It's found inside figurine. Only Karita and Andrews knew how to open it, but that doesn't matter if Engarde was spying on Han. Maybe it's a stretch, but maybe there's something in the suicide note about Engarde's habit of spying. Or more specifically, if it doesn't mention spying, that'd be kinda weird. Really? I don't know if my reasoning is correct, but my answer was... That is Ms. Impax's suicide note, right? Who knows? It is a note with beautiful handwriting. Apparently signed by Celeste. Yet, the prosecution cannot prove it was her and not a forgery. I have evidence that could prove it's her. I have a photo with her handwriting on it. But Edgeworth can't prove it. I mean, sure, this suicide note was found inside this bear, but this bear was in my possession until only a few moments ago, which means the handwriting on this suicide note has not yet been analysed. Oh, so, as to whether this pivotal piece of evidence was really written by Ms. Impax or not, that has yet to even be remotely confirmed. Mr. Wright, you can't seriously be suggesting... Mr. Wright, are you saying this suicide note is a fake? Ms. Andrews? You were the one who tried to pin this murder on Mr. Engarde. Who's to say you didn't create a fake suicide note and put it in this bear? How dare you? Your Honor, the defense is indiscriminately accusing the witness again. There is no evidence linking the witness to the suicide note whatsoever. But if it is a fake, then the witness is the only person who could have made it. What? Recall the witness's testimony concerning the figurine. The only person other than the victim who could solve the puzzle is the witness herself. Pair of glasses number 8, right? 9? 8. Ms. Andrews, you wrote this note, didn't you? You wrote it so you could use it to frame Matt Engarde. I did no such thing! Right. If you're going to pronounce this suicide note a fake, then show this court some evidence to support your theory. Mr. Edgeworth, you were the one who presented this scrap of paper as evidence. that means the burden of proof lies with you, the prosecution. Ugh. That's enough. Mr. Edgeworth, can you confirm the handwriting on the suicide note? It is as the defense has stated, the handwriting has yet to be analyzed. If that's the case, it seems that yet again we have reached a point where a verdict is impossible. That's impossible! This isn't good, Phoenix. The judge is going to carry this trial over one more day. I don't think Maya will physically be able to make it another day. I didn't want to have to do this, but I don't have a choice. I request that both the prosecution and defense further investigate. Handwriting analysis, my butt, that's just the lawyer trying to buy more time. Engarde is guilty, any idiot can tell that with a look. I think we've reached the end of the line. Guilty, 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 guilty. What is that sound? It's Gumshoe. Your Honor, I have to take this. Very important business for this case. Trust me. Hello? Gumshoe? What is with him? What's with that sigh? Where's Maya? What happened to the killer? He got away. What? I'm sorry, pal, I really am. I don't know what to say besides I'm sorry. I wish there was some way to make it up to you, I really do. Anyway, what's going on? We found his hideout, pal, but the two of them were already gone. This is terrible. I'm going to keep looking for them, pal, don't you worry. I just need a little more time. But don't tell me we don't have any more. Guilty, 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 guilty. Guilty, mate. She's guilty, aye. Aye, that Matt Engarde fella, I find him guilty. Do you hear that? They're calling for his head. Mr. Wright, I can't. For us to come this far and... Oh. What is it? Let me talk to Mr. Edgeworth. I can't do that. Mr. Wright, would you please get a hold of yourself? Yes, Your Honor. I'm about to enter today's, I'm about to end today's proceedings. You may take your phone calls after. Hold on, Your Honor. Edgeworth, catch. What? Mr. Edgeworth? Please, you gotta buy us some more time. Court is in session. I'm sorry, Your Honor. You were saying? Mr. Wright, this is a court of law. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but... I am reluctant to do this, however, it appears that I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow. This time I really can't do anything. Court is now adjourned for the day. No, Your Honor, don't! Please wait, Your Honor. Edgeworth? What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I humbly request another 30 minutes of Your Honor's time. For what purpose? We can perform the necessary tests on this piece of evidence in that time. But can you really obtain your results in 30 minutes? I believe we can, Your Honor. But wouldn't it be better if we adjourned for today and then reconvene tomorrow? 30 minutes. Please, Your Honor. That is all I am asking for. Thank God. He only hung up on Gumshoe to keep up appearances. He heard the plea for more time and understood what was going on. Oh, that's my intelligent Edgeworth. You beautiful son of a... Actually, you're a son of a pretty good defense lawyer, I hear. Shame he died in an elevator several years ago, but beside the point. Thank you, Edgeworth. Thank you. We'll continue the next, apparently 30 minutes of this trial in the next episode. Bye.